What's happening, Patriots Nation? You're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. The moment that proves Mike Vrabel isn't just a good coach, he's a great coach. The New England Patriots are heading into Super Bowl 60 against the Seattle Seahawks this Sunday, and Coach Vrabel just pulled off the most brilliant move of this entire postseason. He's brought in the mastermind himself, the architect of our dynasty, Bill Belichick, for strategic consultation ahead of Sunday's championship game. Yeah, you heard that right. The GOAT of coaching is back in the building, at least in spirit. Now look, we all know there's been some bad blood between Belichick and owner Robert Kraft after that messy divorce back when Bill was let go. The relationship between those two has been frosty at best, and there were real questions about whether Belichick would ever want anything to do with the Patriots organization again. But here's the thing about champions. They put their egos aside for the greater good. Belichick's love for his former players, especially guys like Vrabel who bled for this organization for 8 seasons, that love runs deeper than any front office drama. And Vrabel? This guy is showing the maturity and wisdom of a leader who understands that greatness recognizes greatness. He's not letting pride get in the way of bringing home that 7th Lombardi trophy to Foxborough. But wait, it gets even better. Vrabel didn't stop at Belichick. He also reached out to Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, one of the greatest offensive minds in football history. Think about that for a second. Vrabel is tapping into decades of championship experience, absorbing knowledge from 2 legendary coaches who have won a combined 8 Super Bowl rings. This is chess, not checkers, people. While other teams are running basic game prep, Vrabel is assembling an Avengers-level brain trust to prepare for Seattle's historically elite defense. And here's where it gets really interesting. Belichick is currently down at the University of North Carolina building his college football program from the ground up. Word is he's even banned Patriots scouts from stepping foot on campus because of his ongoing issues with the front office. But when Mike Vrabel called, Bill picked up the phone without hesitation. That tells you everything you need to know about the bond they share, the mutual respect between player and coach. Vrabel played for Belichick, won 3 Super Bowls as a linebacker in this system, and now he's carrying on that legacy as the frontrunner for the 2025 NFL Coach of the Year award. This whole situation is giving me chills, honestly. It's like watching the passing of the torch in real time. Belichick built the greatest dynasty in NFL history right here in New England. 20 years of dominance that we may never see again. And now Vrabel is writing the next chapter with his own style while honoring everything that came before. The fact that Bill is willing to share his defensive mastery, combined with Andy Reid's offensive brilliance, gives the Patriots an intellectual edge that no other team can match. Seattle has no idea what's coming for them. For those of us who've been riding with this team through thick and thin, this moment feels like pure destiny. We watched the dark years after Brady left. We suffered through the rebuilding phase with Mac Jones trying to find our identity. And now we're right back where we belong on football's biggest stage, with a young superstar quarterback and a coach who understands what it means to be a Patriot. And if you're as fired up as I am about this Super Bowl run, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because we're going to break down every single angle of this championship game, and you don't want to miss a second of the coverage. Vrabel isn't just preparing a game plan here, he's orchestrating a masterpiece. He's got Belichick whispering defensive schemes in one ear and Andy Reid dropping offensive wisdom in the other. Meanwhile, the locker room is absolutely electric with energy. These players know they're part of something special. They've bought into Vrabel's vision completely, and they're ready to run through a brick wall for this coaching staff. Think about the chess match about to unfold on Sunday at Levi's Stadium. Belichick's legendary defensive adjustments, combined with Vrabel's experience as a Super Bowl winning player, creates this perfect blend of old-school Patriots football and new-school innovation. And with Andy's input on how to attack Seattle's #1 ranked defense, the Patriots are walking into this game with every advantage imaginable. This isn't just another football game, folks. This is the culmination of a season where Vrabel proved he's the rightful heir to the Patriots' throne. He took a team that was supposed to be rebuilding and turned them into AFC champions in his first year as head coach. Now, with the greatest coach of all time backing him up, we're about to witness something magical. The Patriots dynasty isn't dead, it was just sleeping. And come Sunday night, we're bringing that 7th ring back to New England where it belongs. Let's go. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the matchup that everyone's buzzing about. Drake Maye versus the best defense in the National Football League. The Seattle Seahawks are bringing an absolute buzzsaw to this Super Bowl, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is the toughest test our rookie phenom has faced all season long. Seattle's defense finished the regular season allowing just 17.2 points per game, ranked first in the entire NFL. They're second in the league in expected points added per play, and according to DVOA metrics, they have the 12th best defense since 1978. This isn't just a good defense, this is historically elite. But here's what gets me excited. Drake Maye didn't come this far by backing down from challenges. This kid is built different. At 23 years old and 162 days, if he wins on Sunday, he'll become the youngest quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl. That's legacy-defining stuff right there. But getting there means solving the puzzle that Seattle's defense presents. Let's be real about what happened earlier in these playoffs. Against the Houston Texans in the divisional round, our offense struggled to generate consistent momentum. We averaged just 3.4 yards on first down with a success rate of only 37.9%. Yeah, we put up 28 points in that game, but a lot of that came from defensive turnovers, not offensive dominance. We can't rely on that against Seattle. But here's the good news. Seattle, as dominant as they are overall, has shown some vulnerability on first down. They rank 16th in defensive EPA in those situations, which is surprisingly irregular for such an elite unit. That's the crack in the armor, folks. That's where Drake Maye has to operate. If we can stay ahead of the chains on first down, if we can avoid those second and long situations, we can keep Seattle's pass rush honest and give our offensive line a fighting chance. Maye himself has been studying this defense obsessively. In his press conference earlier this week, he talked about how Seattle plays very fast and how they excel at surrounding the ball carrier. He emphasized the critical importance of ball security, specifically mentioning their zone coverage schemes and their ability to tip passes at the line of scrimmage. And he's absolutely right. The early playoff games were rough for Drake in terms of turnovers. Against the Chargers and Texans, we had some costly mistakes. But then something clicked in the AFC Championship game against Denver. Playing in a literal blizzard, Maye completed just 10 of 21 passes for only 86 yards, but he took care of the football. 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles, and he added 65 rushing yards and the game's only offensive touchdown with his legs. That rushing touchdown won us the game, 10-7, and punched our ticket to this Super Bowl. Seattle knows that Maye is dangerous with his legs. He ranks second in the NFL in EPA per game on scrambles, behind only Baker Mayfield. But Seattle ranks 16th in EPA allowed on scrambles, which means they're not elite at containing mobile quarterbacks. They're also 29th in yards per rush allowed to quarterbacks at 5.0 yards per attempt. That's a massive weakness we have to exploit. Vrabel needs to dial up designed runs, quarterback draws, read options, the whole playbook. The pass protection situation is the biggest concern going into Sunday. The Patriots have allowed pressure on 37.3% of pass plays this season, ranking 25th in the NFL. Meanwhile, Seattle produces pressure on 38.1% of their opponents' pass plays, ranking 4th. They're still 4th in pressure rate when you filter for just 4-man rushes. That means they don't even need to blitz. Drake's been sacked 15 times in 3 playoff games, and 11 of those sacks came with just a 4-man rush. Our offensive line has to step up in the biggest game of their lives. If they give Maye time, if they can hold up against Seattle's front 4, I believe in this kid's ability to make plays. Remember Week 17 against the Jets when he completed 90.4% of his passes for 256 yards and 5 touchdowns? That was the highest QBR in the history of the stat at 99.8. That's the Drake Maye we need on Sunday. This game's going to come down to execution on early downs and protecting the football. Maye has to be patient, take what the defense gives him and avoid forcing throws. If we can establish the run game with Ramondre Stevenson, keep Seattle's defense honest, and let Drake operate off play action, we've got a real shot. It's going to take a perfect game, but this team has proven all season that they rise to the occasion. Sunday night, Drake Maye is going to show the world why he's the future. Let's ride. All right, folks, now I gotta bring up something that's been weighing heavy on my mind. Even as we're preparing for the biggest game of the season, there's this cloud hanging over Foxborough about what happens after Sunday. Win or lose, this Super Bowl might be the last dance for some of our most beloved players. Mike Vrabel has made it crystal clear that he's building this franchise around a core five: Drake Maye, Christian Gonzalez, Will Campbell, Marcus Jones, and Milton Williams. That's the foundation moving forward. But that also means some high-profile veterans might be playing their final game in a Patriots uniform. Let's start with Hunter Henry, one of the classiest guys to ever wear the Flying Elvis. Hunter's been Drake Maye's security blanket all season long, a reliable target on third downs, and a veteran leader in the locker room. But the cold hard truth is he's getting older, and his blocking ability has declined significantly. Pro Football Focus graded Henry at just 49.8 in run blocking this year, ranking him 24th on the entire team. For a tight end position that requires versatility, that's a red flag. Henry's entering the final year of his contract with only $2.6 million in dead cap hit, which makes him an easy cut financially. At 32 years old next season, the Patriots front office is likely looking for a younger, more athletic option who can contribute in all phases. I hate saying that because Hunter has been nothing but professional, but this is a business, and Vrabel is making business decisions. If we win on Sunday, at least Henry goes out on top. Then there's the Stefon Diggs situation, and man, this one's complicated. Diggs came to New England as the veteran spark plug this offense desperately needed. At 33 years old, he's still got game. He was our most efficient receiver this season, making plays in crucial moments. But Diggs only ranked third in offensive snaps behind Kayshon Boutte and Mac Hollins. That's telling you the coaching staff was already managing his workload and looking toward the future. The financial numbers make this decision even easier. Diggs is due $22.5 million in salary for 2026, and there's zero guaranteed money left after this season. The Patriots could release him with absolutely no cap penalty. Add in the fact that Diggs is dealing with some ongoing legal issues off the field, and you can see why Vrabel might decide to move on. It's a shame because Diggs brought veteran leadership when we needed it most, but if the team can get younger and save that money, it's probably the right move long term. And then there's Christian Barmore, and this one hurts the most because of the sheer talent involved. Barmore is an absolute monster on the defensive line. His pairing with Milton Williams has been one of the best interior combinations in the entire league. But Barmore's had some disciplinary issues that have put him in Vrabel's doghouse. There's also a pending misdemeanor charge hanging over him. Here's where it gets interesting. Barmore signed a big extension not too long ago worth up to $92 million, but there's a clause in his contract that allows the team to cut ties on March 13th with minimal financial penalty. Meanwhile, younger guy Corey Durden has been developing nicely and comes at a fraction of the cost. If Vrabel decides that Barmore's off-field issues outweigh his on-field dominance, we could see one of our best defensive players walk away. That would be devastating from a talent perspective. The bigger picture here is that Vrabel is trying to set this franchise up for sustained success, not just one championship run. By committing to a young core built around Drake Maye, he's ensuring that the Patriots remain competitive for the next decade. Tough decisions have to be made, and legends have to be let go. That's the nature of the NFL. But it doesn't make it any easier when you're talking about guys who bled for this organization. So yeah, Sunday's game carries extra emotional weight. For Hunter Henry, Stefon Diggs, and Christian Barmore, this might be their last chance to cement their legacy in New England. If they go out there and ball out, if they help bring that 7th championship to Foxborough, they'll forever be remembered as champions, regardless of what happens next. And if you want to stay updated on all the roster moves and off-season decisions coming up, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the breaking news. Vrabel's not being cold-hearted here. He's being strategic. Every great dynasty has to make tough calls to stay on top. Belichick did it countless times, cutting fan favorites and moving on from legends when the time was right. Now Vrabel's doing the same thing, and as much as it hurts, it's what championship organizations do. But before we worry about March in the offseason, we got a Super Bowl to win. These 3 guys have got one more game in the tank, one more opportunity to show the football world what Patriots football is all about. And if this really is the last dance, then let's make it a performance that nobody will ever forget. Come Sunday night at Levi's Stadium, we're bringing that trophy home, and these veterans are going to play a massive role. One more ride, one more battle, one more championship. That's what we do in New England. Let's go finish this thing.